And then they have other drills where it's a white supremacist against open borders, meaning if you're against open borders, you're a white supremacist. And then 2 years ago, it's in the new Police State 4 Rise of FEMA. We have the colonel on. It was in the newspaper. Yeah, we're going to practice confiscating guns around the town. And we're going to do it and practice arresting the gun shop owners. Then I got him on, and the colonel said, well, yeah, we were going to do that drill, but it's not very nice how you say it's for America. This was for overseas. And I said, Colonel, I've been to the drills, the role players, and the citizens you hire at these. It's for America. And then they go, well, it's for America with the role players, but not really for America. And I'm like, oh, was New Orleans for America? Taking the guns there? And he goes, well, I don't want to discuss that, boy. See, because they're all about psych warfare. And he's like, wow, this guy, he tries this Obi-Wan Kenobi thing on me as these aren't the droids you're looking for. And I go, yeah, these are the droids I'm looking for. I'm not moving along here, pal. Get out of the car, because I'm a defender of the Republic. I'm the real cop. I'm the real sheriff in town. And so is every other sovereign American. So I know what you are. I'm sorry, go ahead. Give me a news headline. I remember seeing it in AP, but that may have been another one where they were doing the anti-immigration attack on the school and then teaching the kids. Now, it's not that the cops came in and terrorized your little kids unannounced. That's not a crime. The crime is we had to do it because the pro-gun group is the terrorist in the drill. And the parents are all like, those dirty gun owners, those dirty... See how simple and mentally ill that psych warfare system is? But then you've got to admit that the authority figure is wrong. So the average person goes, okay, it is good you terrorized my 7-year-old. Thank you. It's kind of like... well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I don't have an article in front of me because I'm on the road right now, but it just happened. It was just from the Des Moines Register. And basically they said that people are calling in saying, if you run this drill, we're actually going to come in and make this, we're actually going to come in and shoot the place up for real. And they just, in the article, they just...
Yeah, that's just the feds probably merging it with their own program and actually calling that in themselves, because they like to start in these giant re-education camp drills. The whole country's been being turned into one, to then add reality to then cause even more hysteria.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me. It just... The thing that blew my mind, and it didn't surprise me at the same time, was the fact that they're just like, someone actually death threatened you. I had a friend in high school who called in a bomb threat just to, because he wanted to get out of a test. And this was before 9/11. This was like 1997 or something, and he was just some stupid kid. But, he's a felon because of that. And he's really a harmless, do-nothing type of guy, But
well, he probably should be. He should have a record for that, because that can really cause a lot of problems. I appreciate your call, but good to hear from you, Kyle. Sometimes I'm out in public, and I got to go somewhere, but I was gassing up my car a few days ago, and a guy came over and said, Alex, I want to thank you for everything. He goes back in, gets something, he's coming back out. And I said, hey, come here and talk to me. How long have you been a listener? And he looked like a former military type guy. And he was there with one of his friends. They were, working, he said. And I said, how'd you start listening? He goes, well, I listened years ago. And then I went in the Army. He said he'd been listening about 10 years. And I went in the Army. And then I got out. And I've got all these, disabilities and things, from the war. And he said, then I started smoking marijuana, and I got caught with a little bit of it. And I fought it because it was medical marijuana, and I had my medical marijuana card. And he said they put me in jail for 2 years. And he said, but they were releasing carjackers and all these other criminals after months. And see, but that's true. You look at the statistics, you get caught with some marijuana in places like Texas, a lot of times they throw the book at you. He's a veteran, now a felon, 2 years in jail. He was, I think, 70-something days in the county jail before he went to prison fighting it. Because he fought it, they just kept him in jail because he's a good worker. See, he'll make nice license plates and nice furniture. He'll do a good job for him. Sir, I really appreciate your call. Send me some info on that Iowa situation. I remember reading about it, but I forget the headline. Richard in Canada, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, how you doing? I just watched your film, Fall of the Republic again. It's very good, very well done. I would pat you on the back for that. I noticed that you have on there you're going to do a eugenics film. I was just wondering if you're still planning on doing that, because I love your movies, man. I want to see another one.
Yeah, here's the problem. I do multiple radio interviews every day. I'm running everything here in the office. I got a bunch of new projects we're doing. And I am doing multiple TV interviews today, and I kind of was behind the scenes on, and it kind of got me out of my rhythm of always turning one out every 6 months because I kind of oversaw Burmes's thing, and it took about a year longer than it was supposed to. We did a great job, just we took longer because I wasn't honchoing it. And then I kind of halfway honchoed Police State 4. I mean, I didn't really make those films. Burmes directed one. I kind of quasi helped on it. And my editors were taken away from the editors we hired for him, and they did it, Aaron and Jacobson. And then I just kind of got out of my rhythm. And I've kind of gotten into actually seeing my children about 2 hours a day, an hour in the morning, an hour or two at night. And so just started seeing my children. I mean, there were whole years where I might just see them on one day on the weekend and a little bit on Sunday. And I don't know how long I'm going to be alive. And so the magicness of being with my children, I just dream about quitting every day. I don't want the acclaim, the renowned. I don't want all this attention, but it's a mission, and I go deeper into danger every day. And I'm just totally sick of everything, and my understanding expanding so fast I can hardly even explain the information. But yes, sir, I've got like 3 films I started and never finished. I'm just all over the map, so we've shifted into a system of all these dozens of incredible interviews we've gotten flying around the country and putting those out with some documentation as kind of presentation films on prisonplanet.tv, and they're being seen by millions in the aggregate. So we're still having the same effect on that front, but the films are so time intensive because I sit over every edit, every document, every voiceover, that when I make a film for months and months and months, I am up here till 2 in the morning with big black circles around my eyes, eating pizza and then becoming slovenly. And so I would certainly hope, Richard, to be able to get more of that done for you. Blue Star, Alex, Bruce, Justin, and others. Your call straight ahead. Stay with us. Every minute, folks, I want to run to the South Pacific. Every minute, I want to punch out of here.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill, and I had high blood pressure, high blood sugar, poor vision, and I really wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess, pretty much.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract, and from within a few days, I started sleeping a lot better. My blood pressure normalized, my blood sugar normalized, and my sleep really did improve.
Experience these benefits and more when your body gets what it needs with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
And folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
I have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv.
The largest part of gaining radiant health is detoxification. You can drink ionized water, cleanse your intestines, eat a perfect diet, and even take lots of quality supplements and in many instances only make minimal progress. What is the key to detoxifying your body of mercury, heavy metals, chemicals, and drugs? It is glutathione. Glutathione is the master antioxidant used to detoxify your entire body. It stops free radicals, keeps cells young, and reduces inflammation. One World Whey protein powder may be able to raise your glutathione production by 64% or more. One World Whey is more effective than any other whey protein powder on the market because it is unheated and from grass-fed cows. All other, quote, cold-processed whey protein powders have been heated and damaged by 15% or more. One World Whey comes in 3 delicious flavors. Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworld.com.
Way up north to Alaska. Way up north to Alaska. North to Alaska. Go north for us is home.
The guys did find my short quote that Drudge ran with. It's, there is no rest when you are involved in reality. Alex Jones, Austin, Texas, 2/2011. Does urgent radio 6 days a week. Web DVDs. Okay, let's go ahead now and go to Blue Star in Canada. Blue Star, you're on the air.
Alex, thanks for taking my call. I've got an amazing story that you might want to have this gentleman on your show, but it's got several points of interest for anybody that's going to foreclosure. About 3 weeks ago, I did an interview with Rico Giron. He was running for sheriff in New Mexico, and he sued the IRS on racketeering charges and won. The main point right now where he's at is that he paid his mortgage in full. The mortgage company gave it to a lawyer's, which there was no lawyer's judgments. He has now told the local sheriff that he is not going to leave his property alive, standing up for his and our constitutional rights. If you want to do a little bit more research on him, his site is ricoforsheriff.com.
All right, we'll check it out, Blue Star. Very interesting. More and more people are drawing their line in the sand. Thank you for that information. That's what the globalists can't stand. Alex in Arizona, you're on the air.
Hello, Mr. Jones. Thank you for this is a chance to speak to the world of InfoWarriors. I just want to say, see something, say something. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's completely exploiting one of the most observable errors in social psychology called the fundamental attribution error, where you overestimate situational attributes to be applying to the personality. It's just
well, it's saying the public are the terrorists. It's saying don't trust anyone but the government.
Yeah, exactly. You see, like, if somebody pulls out in front of you, you say, oh, that man must be a bad driver. Well, no, that man's 2-year-old just drank chlorine, and he's rushing him to the hospital. You can't make these assumptions on people.
It's like the realtors. Every week I see articles where they see guns in a house and call the police where guns are legal because they don't live in reality. They watch dramas based in New York where you're not allowed to own guns, or Chicago, and they think that, or they see reloading equipment and think it's bombs because it's advertised that it's like winning the lottery to find a terrorist. So it's a false reality they've been given.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just waiting to get pulled over for my Ruger Pride with an American flag sticker on my car. The second thing I want to say, kind of unrelated, but I don't know if you've ever heard of a SQUID. It's called SQUID, Superconducting Quantum Interference Device. It essentially measures very minute magnets or gravitational, magnetic fields. And I had a teacher who was able to figure out that when you have two people in a room, and one person is on the other side of the room, this machine can measure the other person's heartbeat inside yourself from across the room because it has an electrical field through the heartbeat. Just going to show that reality isn't what it seems. We are so...
Well, no, I remember 8 years ago at 4 test airports, including Boston Logan, CBS reported they put passive MRIs that scan your brainwaves from a distance. And now they've announced they're going to start rolling these out on the streets, and then that's quackery. They just say, well, it shows you're a terrorist, the brainwave, bye-bye. They've already disproven the old quackery of the lie detector test, sending hundreds of thousands of innocents to prison, some to the lethal injection, gas chamber, electric chair. And so now they just go, we have newfangled equipment, or we train our TSA people to be able to tell by your eye movements and your facial expressions if you're a terrorist. And then these guys just constantly freaking out thinking they're Superman. It's all just made up.
Yeah, as a psychologist myself, it makes me sick.
Well, your point about how they say, a man speeding, a lot of cops now pull somebody over, their dog's dying, their wife's dying. They'll go ahead and arrest him anyways and say, I'm calling for an ambulance. And the wife's dying of a heart attack, the dog's dying. There's been a lot of famous cases. And they get off in the jury trial, and the cop's already mad that they were speeding, so the cop's got to be right. And citizens, too. Look at him speeding. Meanwhile, his wife's next to him dying in the car, or the husband is. Retransmission starts now, Infowars.com.
This is GCN, the Genesis